Most of us make the same mistake. We wait for motivation to arrive before starting something big. We tell ourselves, tomorrow I'll be more motivated, or this week I'll feel more energized. But here's the truth. Motivation is like a candle flame, bright, attractive, but at the first gust of wind, at the first obstacle, it goes out. When you come home exhausted after a stressful day at work, where is that morning enthusiasm you felt? Gone. If you build your success on motivation, your life's architecture will be like a house built on sand. Every wave can destroy it. So how do the world's most successful people do it? That top 1%? They don't work with motivation. They work with systems. They don't force themselves. They turn discipline into a structure. As Jocko Willink says, discipline equals freedom. What is discipline? Discipline is the ability to keep the promises you make to yourself, regardless of how you feel. It's the power to stay on course without drowning in the waves of emotions. Today on the Success Architecture channel, you'll learn how to build your internal discipline with engineering precision without depleting your willpower. If you start with big plans and quit halfway through, make promises to yourself and end up disappointed, blame yourself saying, "Why can't I be disciplined?" This video will be your turning point, because the problem isn't you, it's your system. The brain's internal war. Why is being disciplined so difficult? To understand the answer, let's look inside your brain. Inside your brain, there's a constant war happening. On one side stands your prefrontal cortex. This is your brain's CEO. This is where your logic lives, your long-term goals, and your internal architect. It says, we should wake up early, exercise, read books. On the other side is the limbic system, your primitive, pleasure-seeking, childlike side. It says, why torture ourselves? Let's sleep 10 more minutes. What's wrong with eating one cookie? Let's check our phone and have fun. Which side wins this war? The one you practice. Research discussed by Stanford neurobiologist Andrew Huberman suggests that voluntarily doing difficult things, such as hard exercise or tackling unpleasant tasks, strongly engages a brain region called the Anterior Mid-Cingulate Cortex, AMCC. This region is closely linked to persistence, effort, and willpower. Studies show that people who consistently push through difficulty tend to have a more developed and active AMCC. In other words, discipline isn't just a mindset, it's a trainable neural capacity. Each time you choose the harder path, you reinforce the circuit. Each time you avoid discomfort, it weakens. Discipline is a power, and like a muscle, it strengthens with use. Environment design. Now I'll ask you a question. Who are the most disciplined people? Many would say, people with the strongest willpower. Wrong answer. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, says, disciplined people are not those with the strongest willpower. They are those who best design their environment. Let me explain with an example. Say you want to lose weight. Every day you tell yourself, I won't eat sweets today, but your kitchen is full of chocolate, chips, and sugary drinks. After a stressful workday, you come home tired, your nerves are frayed, you open the fridge and you lose. Because willpower is a limited resource, and by the end of the day, it runs out. What's the solution? Remove the sweets from your home beforehand. Put fruits and healthy food in your fridge. This way, you have to say yes to success, but to fail, you'd have to go out to the store. This creates friction, and friction is discipline's best friend. Your job is to make success easy, make failure hard. More examples. Want to read books? Put one on your pillow. Keep your phone charging in another room. Want to exercise in the morning? Lay out your workout clothes next to your bed the night before. Want to drink more water? Keep a large water bottle on your desk. The architecture of discipline begins with removing obstacles. Daily discipline shouldn't be a battle. It should be a flow. The 2-minute rule. Now we've reached the most critical part. How to start. Great buildings don't rise in a day, but most people's mistake is setting goals that are too big. They say, I'll exercise for 1 hour every day this month. I'll read 50 pages every day. I'll completely quit sugar. The result? 3 days later, you're exhausted and quit entirely. Why? Because your brain fears big changes. It's programmed to conserve energy, and big changes are perceived as threats. The solution? The 2-minute rule. This rule was introduced by James Clear. The principle is simple. Any new habit should take less than 2 minutes. What does this mean? It means not going to the gym, just putting on your workout shoes. Not 30 minutes of yoga, just rolling out the mat. Not reading a book, just reading one page. There's a neurobiological reason for this. Starting is 80% of the work. Once you put on your shoes, your brain says, okay, I'm ready now, let's continue. This reduces the activation energy. Second powerful technique, habit stacking. Build a new habit on top of an existing one. The formula is old habit plus new habit equals automatic discipline. Examples. After I make my morning coffee, I'll meditate for 5 minutes. After I eat lunch, I'll take a 10-minute walk. After I brush my teeth at night, I'll write tomorrow's plan. What does this do? It connects neural pathways. The brain now sees both as one package, and it becomes automatic. Remember, discipline is the product of small, consistent steps, not big, enthusiastic leaps, changing your identity. Now, let's go to the deepest level. What's the most powerful way to build discipline? The answer is simple, but few understand it. Redefine yourself. What's the difference between these two sentences? 1. I'm trying to lose weight. 2. I am a healthy person. In the first sentence, you're in a process. It's exhausting, temporary. In the second sentence, you're an identity. It's permanent, internal. James Clear says the deepest way to change behavior is to change identity. What does an architect do when designing a building? First, they define, is this a library, a hospital, or a temple? Then they build the entire structure accordingly. You too must give yourself an identity. Practical application. Every time you make a decision, ask yourself this question: what would the person I want to become do right now? Would a disciplined person get up when the alarm goes off, or say 10 more minutes? Would a successful person postpone this task, or do it now? Would a healthy person eat this burger, or the meal they prepared at home? This question connects you with your future self, and every right decision strengthens that identity. Powerful affirmation. Remember, every small action is a vote. You vote for your identity every day. Did you exercise? You voted for person who exercises. Did you read a book? You voted for person who learns. Did you go to bed early? You voted for person who respects themselves. Over time, these votes create a new you. Engineering, the recovery plan. But what happens if you fail, skip a day, fall off the plan? This is where most people make a mistake. They say, it's no use now, I've ruined everything, and quit completely. But an engineer doesn't do this. An engineer knows that every structure can have errors. What matters is detecting the error quickly and recovering. 2 golden rules. 1. The never miss twice in a row rule. If you missed exercising one day, no problem, but definitely do it the next day. Missing 2 days in a row creates a domino effect and kills the habit. 2. The smaller version method. If you don't have time for the full session, do the smaller version. No 1-hour workout? 10 minutes of stretching? No time to cook a full meal? A simple salad? No long meditation? 3 minutes of deep breathing? This doesn't break the chain. It maintains it, and continuing the next day is 100 times easier. Self-compassion. Remember, perfection is not the goal. Consistency is the goal. A disciplined person isn't someone who never fails. They're someone who gets back up quickly after failing.